Hello, 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 hello. This is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. And today we've got another card by FireOfGolden. It's another one of his figure planeswalkers. Again, I recommend you watch these in order because I say things in the early episodes that I'm not going to say in these later episodes. So I'll create a playlist. Watch the playlist. It'll be in order. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got a 6 mana, triple red, Planeswalker at 6 loyalty. At the end of your turn, remove a loyalty counter from Jekmo unless you discarded a card this turn. Jekmo can be your commander. Okay, interesting. Excuse me for that burp. Now you guys are probably used to it by now. Why do I even apologize? Okay, 0. You may discard a card. If you do, put a loyalty counter on Jekmo. Otherwise, Jekmo deals 2 damage to each opponent. Okay. So you can trade a card for a loyalty counter. Or deal 2 damage to each opponent. Okay. -3. You get an emblem with whenever you discard a card, target forgot creature deals damage to any target equal to its power. What is a forgot creature? Forgot creature? Okay, I don't know what that is. But let's assume that it's just any creature. Target forgot creature. Is that a specific type of creature? I don't know. I'm just going to treat this as if it's any creature. So whenever you discard a card, target creature deals damage. I assume target creature you control. Because right now you could target your opponent's creatures, which is, I don't think, the intention here. Deals damage to any target equal to its power. Okay. That's very strong, I think. Okay, so how does this play out? So, okay, so you pay 6, you put this guy in play, you -3 him, you get the emblem, right? Assuming they don't kill him. Oh, it's technically a -4, right? Because you haven't discarded a card, so he goes down to 2 now. Okay. Now, assuming he stays alive, I mean, you've already gotten value out of this because you now get an emblem, but assuming this guy stays alive, you now 0 and discard a card. Now one of your creatures kills something or domes your opponent. And then you get a loyalty counter, so it goes up to 3. And you don't remove a loyalty counter from him. Now, you could -3 and get a second emblem, which seems pretty strong. But then you need other ways to discard cards, which that's not hard to do. And at this point, now every time you discard a card, your highest power creature gets to either kill 2 things or kill something and hit your opponent, or hit your opponent for a lot. That's really strong. That's really, really strong. So yeah, they better kill this thing. It is kind of nice that you have to have a creature in play, so you can sort of play around the emblem. I mean, depends on what kind of a deck you're playing, right? I mean, if you're playing like a green deck that doesn't have a lot of removal, this card's just going to dunk on you, right? I mean, what are they going to do? Just every turn you're going to kill, like... First off, let's say you just play this and straight up -3 it. And now let's say they kill Jekmo, right? But now every time you discard a card, your best creature kills one of their creatures. Presumably. I mean, it's going to be hard for a green deck to deal with that. And then if you ever get your second emblem out, which, by the way, if you're playing Commander, is almost guaranteed, right? Because you can just replay this guy from your command zone and get another emblem. Now, every time you discard a card, you get to kill 2 different things, or you get to just start hitting people for a lot, right? I mean, obviously it depends on what kind of creatures you have out. But yeah, and then again in Commander, you can just keep stacking these emblems up, and things get really absurd. So yeah, I mean, this card seems very strong. Okay, one thing I like about this card is that the abilities kind of work together. So, you know, basically when you play this guy, you're almost always going to -3 immediately, right? Because this is an emblem. This is permanent. I don't see a situation where you play this guy and you discard a card for a loyalty counter, or you play this guy and deal 2 damage to each opponent. Like, it just doesn't seem good. So you're going to play this guy, you're going to -3. And then he goes down to 2. So there's a good chance that he dies. But if he doesn't, now you can start actually increasing his loyalty by discarding cards, and then you get this sort of bonus. Now, that's not really the best way to do it, obviously, because you have to discard a card, and you also have to have creatures in play. So if those 2 things don't really work super well together, obviously, but I mean, at 6 mana, presumably you already have a creature in play. Hopefully, I mean, I guess the opponents could wrath the board or whatnot, but at some point you'll have a creature in play, right? So ideally, ideally what you probably do is you just deal 2 to each opponent, and then you play like a Whispering Voices, or you know, one of those like discard a card, draw 2 cards, you know, spells. And then this guy just really starts going off. So you turn your land into some creatures or whatever, start playing the creatures, and now you're just really, really going off. So and I mean, best case scenario, you have creatures that discard cards, right? Even better. So yeah, I mean, this card, like, okay, so I think the only reason this card is really that overpowered is because it can be your commander. I mean, don't get me wrong, the fact that you can, like, play this guy and immediately get the emblem is a lot, or is quite strong. I mean, but you do have to discard a card, and you do have to have a creature in play. So it's actually not that busted. The only reason it gets busted is because you can keep replaying this guy and you can keep getting emblems, right? And then you're like stacking these emblems is like crazy, because then it's like if you ever discard 1 card, if you have 2 emblems and you discard a card with a creature out, you're going off. And God forbid you have 3 of these emblems, now you're just going nuts, you know? At least in Commander, your opponents will just end up killing all your creatures, hopefully. But yeah, so this card's kind of interesting. I would like it better if it could not be your commander, personally. I think that kind of makes this card a little cheaty feeling, right? It's like you can just recast this guy at 8, emblem, recast this guy at 10, emblem. I mean, obviously that's a lot of mana, but still, you have the potential to get multiple emblems with just with just 1 life, or 1 of this guy's lives, and if he dies, well, whatever, just replay him from your command zone and get another emblem, right? So yeah, I kind of wish this. I think this guy would be a lot more interesting if he could not be your commander. Honestly, I think that would make this card an interesting card and probably relatively balanced. Like, yes, the emblem is good, but you do have to jump through some hoops. You have to discard a card. You have to have a creature in play with enough power to matter, right? And it's not necessarily the easiest thing to build a deck that has a, you know, you need like the right balance of discard effects and ways to draw additional cards, because you know eventually you're going to discard all your cards, and having creatures with high, you know, power to make use of this emblem. So there's some interesting deck building stuff going on here, to be honest, which I kind of like. So I think if this guy could not be your commander, I think this would be kind of a neat card. I think as it stands, the fact that you can just replay this guy just to get the emblem for free again, like once you start stacking these emblems, things start to get a little absurd. And so I don't really like that part so much. So now it's also possible that something's going on here with a forgot creature, but I don't know what a forgot creature is. Is that a creature type? I don't know. Is it an accident? I don't know. Is this supposed to say figure? I don't know. It just says target forgot creature. So I don't really know what that means. So, okay, what grade am I giving Jekmo? So I think there's some interesting ideas here. I like that you have to jump through the hoops to really get max value out of this card. I don't like that he can be your commander. You know, there's formatting issues again, as usual. There's the art. So I'll give this one. I think I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10. I think there's some interesting ideas here, but I think it could use a few adjustments to really bring this card up in score. Again, I think one of the best things you can do is make this not be your commander, not be able to be a commander, and that'll really go a long way, I think. So yeah, I think I'll give a 5 out of 10 to Jekmo for now, but he has potential to get higher with some adjustments. So, yep, that's my review of Jekmo the Survivor. Thank you guys for watching.